at the end of the Cold War, that whole class of foreign policy consensus opinion aggregators in DC have always said that the biggest geopolitical mistake that the United States could make after the fall of the Soviet Union would be to drive Russia into the arms of China. Because China has the population and manufacturing capability to, if not be on par with the United States, at least give it a run for its money. And Russia has the nuclear war, the stockpile of nuclear weapons to be able to compete with the United States militarily. And so the worst thing that could happen in a post-Soviet world is for Russia and China to have their interests aligned against the United States. And so rather than warning China about what it should or should not do, what you're doing is you're falling into that whole, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You're telling Russia that the biggest threat to Russia is the United States. Meanwhile, you're saber rattling with China saying that the United States is the biggest threat to China. And so Russia and China are sitting there looking at each other and saying, hey, you want to pair up your nuclear stockpile with my manufacturing capability? Sure, that'll be a nice little counterbalance to the United States. So again, if you think that is a brilliant geopolitical move, I have some lead paint chips for you to eat.
I'll just chemically castrate them. We don't need any more of you. Yeah, so I started this segment thinking that we weren't going towards World War III, and now it seems like, we're dead center smack into a hot war with China and Russia. And it doesn't seem like any of our leaders are interested in even tapping the brakes a little bit or giving it a soft pump. They just want to keep going and going and going like nothing bad ever happens in this world.
Yeah. And I mean, that's only the military angle. There's also the economic angle with BRICS that both Russia and China are a part of, where they're setting up the global arrangement to take down the US dollar as the world reserve currency. We're seeing de-dollarization in economies all around the world. Because those economies don't trust the American dollar anymore, since the Fed just prints them like they're the worthless green pieces of paper they are. But again, through BRICS, Russia and China, being the two big leaders of that, are pushing for de-dollarization around the world and to create a reserve currency to compete with the dollar. So even if the military fallout doesn't happen, no pun intended, you could wind up with a situation where the US dollar loses reserve currency status, and the American way of life as we've known it basically since the end of World War II is going to go down the drain. So again, if you're saying that all of that makes perfect geopolitical sense and that is why the United States should keep funding Ukraine, you need help.